Hello, everybody. This is Nick Jameson. I am the voice of many weird creatures. Michael Morbius in Spiderman, Emperor Palpatine in many of the Star Wars productions, Sheriff Lewis in Clifford the Big Red Dog. I was in The Critic. Maurice LaMarche and I did about a zillion characters each. And I'm Max. And Sam and Max hit the road. Yes. And I'm here kicking it with the lovely and wonderful Amber Jones, and we are going to talk about all things voice and many other things. So please keep watching.
Hi guys, Amber here. Welcome back to In Conversation with ATF. My guest today is a voice actor who currently lives in Iceland. He is the voice of Michael Morbius in Spiderman The Animated Series, and I don't know if you've seen the new Morbius movie. Have you, Nick?
No, I have not actually.
Oh, I see. My guest is also the voice of Sheriff Lewis on Clifford the Big Red Dog, Palpatine in Star Wars The Clone Wars. I believe that was the 2003 cartoon, I think.
I'm not sure which years I was on.
Hmm.
It's all kind of a jumble in my mind.
I see. And also for Star Wars Bounty Hunter and Star Wars Battlefront. Max in Sam and Max Hit the Road. And
Oh yeah.
my guest has also done additional voices for Capital Critters, The Addams Family, Droopy Master Detective, and apparently the Hot Rod Dogs and the Cool Car Cats, apparently.
Oh yeah. That's my
Yeah.
friend. That's my friends. Mike and Liz Young produced that.
Oh my, I'm actually interviewing him a week today.
That's great. He's a wonderful guy.
I know, yeah, yeah. My guest is Nick Jameson. Welcome.
Ta-da!
Hello, Nick.
Hello, Amber.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. It's so lovely to have you on my show.
My pleasure.
Oh, yeah, because John Semper Jr. was the he mentioned you and he said that you lived in Iceland, and then I looked up and then I saw how many costumes you were, and I was like, I've got to talk to this guy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, Nick, how are you today?
Wonderful. You mentioned John Semper. I should mention I sold him my car before I moved to Iceland.
Oh,
And
really?
I figured if I have to let go of my beloved baby, what better man to give it to than John Semper? So
Oh.
hopefully they had a nice time together, if it's still running.
Yeah. Yeah, if I interviewed him after this, I would definitely would have asked about your car, definitely. I'd like to ask, how come you moved to Iceland? It's just out of general curiosity.
I just fell in love with it. There was no real other reason. I came here on a vacation. I came for Christmas, actually. uh, and it was dark and cold, and I just loved the place. And I came back again for another Christmas. It was still dark and cold, and I still loved it. Came back for a third Christmas, still dark, still cold, still lovely. Decided to move here. So when summer came around, I was like, oh my God, they have sun here too. This is great. And there's a million reasons I love it here, but it's at the end of the day, it's a spiritual connection of some kind. I can't explain it really. I'm just happy here.
Well, that's good to hear. Iceland is a beautiful place from photos I have seen, and also my Kitty Red fans will know. Um, the 222 helicopter is in Iceland. So Nick, I'm going to give you a crash course in my first voiceover role. So there was a company once upon a time called Northern Leisure Kiddie Rides. They're from Leeds in Yorkshire, and they
Hmm.
made coin-operated rides for children. Um,
Hmm.
so they were making this helicopter ride, and they asked me in 2019 if I wanted to be the voice of it, and I was like, yes, definitely. I recorded all my lines from my bedroom. The ride then debuted at EAG 2020. I don't think you can see well on my wardrobe, but there's a picture of me with it there.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun. That was fun. Sorry, I got to adjust my hair on my ear. I got to talk to many people there, like different distributors and buyers, potential buyers for the ride. Um, and then COVID hit,
Uh,
and obviously the company was not producing any rides. They only managed to produce two of them before the pandemic hit, two
mm,
helicopters. Um, So there was one that one at Kringlan. Is that how you say it, Kringlan?
Kringlan, yes.
Kringlan, yeah. That's been there since 2020. I think the guy who owns the rides there, I can't remember his name. I'll have to try and find out for you. He bought it at that event where it debuted at.
Hmm.
So let me just find it real quick.
So how many other ones are there? They're just one other
There's
one?
just one other one.
Where is it? In Yorkshire?
It is in Yorkshire. It's in a workshop, a kiddie ride workshop. It's a
Mhm.
refurbishment company who do like refurbishments for kiddie rides. Um,
Okay.
because Northern Leisure suffered extreme financial loss, they shut down. I was
Hmm.
essentially the voice of their final ride. So that was quite an honor, to say the least.
Yeah. Ah, yeah.
I can't remember if this was the one that's in Yorkshire at the moment or that's the one that's in is it Reykjavik? Is that how you say
Reykjavik.
Reykjavik? Thank you. Thank you for
Reykjavik.
correcting.
Reykjavik.
Thank you for correcting me, Nick. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's the one in Reykjavik or the one that's in Yorkshire at the moment. But yeah, there is only two. There is rumored to be a third one that's in Israel, but I'm not sure if that's true. But so far,
Wow.
I only know there's two models. There were meant to be many more if COVID never happened. Um, so yeah, that's my story. I've been to Iceland, but in voice form.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see that helicopter, just that's me. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Next
think.
time I'm there, I'll be sure and have a conversation with it.
Thank you, I appreciate it because no one I know has been to Greenland before, so
Mhm.
that would be mean the world. It'd be really special to me, Nick.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Enough about my voiceover career. Let's get down to talking about your voiceover career. So, Nick, when did you start getting into the voiceover industry? Did you, when growing up, did you want to be a voice actor, or were you hoping to go down another career path?
Well, most of my life I was a musician. I still am. I worked in the music business. And then I got into voiceover, I guess, about 1989. I was living in Atlanta, Georgia. And through a series of odd circumstances that I won't bore you with, I started doing voiceover. I figured I'd give it a shot. I can't say I always wanted. I've always been fascinated with voices and dialects and characters. I had no idea you could make a living doing that. I didn't know what a voice actor was. I never thought about it. But I had a friend in Atlanta who did it, and it just popped into my head. Oh, I could do that. So I gave it a go. I made a tape, sent it out to a bunch of agents, and they started getting me jobs. And then after about a year of that, I felt, well, if I'm going to pursue this, I had gotten into acting and comedy at the same time. It all just started happening at once. I got into improv comedy and on camera acting. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I should move to either New York or LA. And I picked LA. And then, I was very fortunate there. I was able to get work pretty quickly. And things just sort of spiraled out of control, and all of a sudden, I'm being all kinds of silly people.
Yeah, in a good way, of course, because as I
Yes.
mentioned, the additional voices that you've done stuff for Hanna-Barbera, you've done stuff for Mike Young,
Yeah.
and all different companies as well. So what was it like doing voiceover work in the 90s? Because I know most of like Hanna-Barbera shows would have had like Frank Welker in them and
Oh,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Did you ever meet him or work with him?
Oh, lots of times. Yeah, Frank is a
Oh,
wonderful guy. In fact, there was a pilot. I can't remember who produced it. Was it Mike? I don't think so. There was a pilot that Frank was approached to do, and he couldn't do it because of conflicts. So he suggested me, and I was so honored by that. When I first came to town, I got the most sought after job in the world, the voice of the genie on the Aladdin TV show. There's a whole lot of politics with that. Yeah, Dan Castellaneta was doing it, doing a great job, but for some reason, Disney wanted to find somebody else, and I got it, and I was just like blown away. And then eventually, Robin Williams says, "Nah, go back and use the other guy." He had some kind of control over it. But during in the course of that, I would sit next to Frank, and he's doing Abu and a bunch of other voices, and it was a star-studded cast. You had Rob Paulson, Jim Cummings, all the usual suspects, and I was just kind of thrown into a whirlwind of fantastic voice people, and I started learning a lot right away. But Frank is not only a master, just one of the greatest voiceover people of all time. He's just a wonderful guy too, wonderful person.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. And Rob, I've had on my YouTube channel, I've interviewed him as well. And Jim, I've interviewed him for a little documentary that I did, which was it's hard to explain. It's about the voice actor Bill Scott. Sorry, I was just looking at Aladdin TV series stuff there.
Yeah, yeah.
I did my little research. Yeah, I did a documentary on Bill Scott, and Frank contributed, and I had many other people help, like Billy West and Corey Burton, and
Mhm.
many other folk. Did you work with Corey?
Yeah, we worked together on Clone Wars, and
Ah, because he was Count
I remember
Dooku.
that specifically, but some other stuff too. While I was there, I pretty much worked with everybody who was active at the time in one capacity or another. But I remember I would sit next to him sometime in the Clone Wars, and he would just do that deep voice of his, and it was just great. You kind of tickles your tummy to hear that low voice resonating like that.
I agree. I was in touch with Corey for a good 2 years. So he recently parted ways. But yeah, he was really nice. He has autism just like me, and I miss him. That's all
Yeah.
I have to say. Um, yeah, and I do have a trip to America planned. I recently got my driving license, which means I can finally get my passport. So I'm hopefully getting out to America to meet all the voiceover friends that I've made. And also, I really want to come to Iceland as well, not just to see my helicopter in person, but to like explore
Yeah.
because I've heard it's beautiful and stuff like that with all like the hot springs and stuff like that. I can't remember how you describe them, but I think
Mhm.
Grey Delisle went and there was like a mountain and like a big hot tub, but like in the mountain or something like that. But it was
Yeah.
beautiful. And also, you're in Iceland as well, so that's another reason to go.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just missed Grace. She was kind of in and out pretty quickly, and I was busy doing shows. We sort of missed each other, but yeah, I remember that.
Oh, well, that's lovely. Did you ever work with June Foray?
Yes.
Oh,
Which show was it on? I believe it was on the Flintstones. I can't remember which. Oh, wait a minute. What character would she have been playing on the Flintstones?
she
Because
was
she
originally
was
going
she
to
was the
be
voice
Betty
of
Rubble.
Rocky, right? Am I correct about that?
On Rocking Bullwinkle, yes. In the
Yeah.
Flintstones, she was the original voice of Betty Rubble before she was recast. In the 60s. I know there was a lot of Flintstone specials since. So,
Yeah, yeah, she must have been doing Betty then. And Frank was there and doing a great Gregory Peck impression. I can't
oh no,
remember.
that would
Oh,
definitely would have been one of the specials because I don't think Frank was in the original series. I'll just
yeah,
quickly check. Uh, it most likely would have been a Flintstone family Christmas.
that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who's in it. Frank Welker's in it. Who else is in it? It says, oh, June Frey's not listed. Henry Corden, Gene
Oh, maybe that
Vanderpyle,
wasn't it
BJ
then.
Ward, John Stevenson, Christine Kavanagh,
Yeah, I
Phoebe
don't remember
Khan.
her being.
Yeah, I was originally going to meet her at Comic Con Liverpool, but she cancelled due to an illness. But yeah, I've heard she's
Yeah.
really lovely. Yeah.
We
Wow.
worked
Yeah.
together on the we worked together on the Critic, and she was wonderful in that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, definitely. Ooh, okay, right. Let's put that to one side. So I'd like to ask you about your other roles as well. Of course, I'm gonna have to move on to the Hot Rod Dogs and the Cool Car Cats. I didn't know you did
Ah,
additional
yeah.
voices for that show. That show is actually really popular in the UK. It aired on CITV over here. And Mike Young is Welsh. I live on the border to Wales. I'm learning a bit of Welsh, so
Mhm.
yeah, I'm excited to talk to him. So what was it like working for Mike Young and that sort of, the collaboration that they did with like Serial Productions or Scottish Television Enterprises on those sort of cartoons?
Yeah, Mike the producer, I used to call him. Yeah, it was great. Mike's a wonderful guy, and Liz is wonderful. And trying to remember who else was on there. I know that
Dana Hill.
Dana Hill,
Dana
right,
Hill, Jim
and
Cummings, Russi Taylor, Frank Welker.
Oliver. I'm trying to remember his last name. He was quite a good friend of mine, actually. Uh, anyway, Oliver was on there. Tall, very funny British Oliver. Uh, yeah, yeah, that was quite some time ago, so I don't remember that much. But I do
1995.
remember, yeah, I remember Jimmy being on it for sure.
Oliver Muirhead,
Yeah,
Muir.
Oliver Muirhead. Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
he's English.
I knew him quite well. We used to do improv comedy a lot
Oh, and he
together.
was in Spiderman as well, the animated series
Oh
with
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Cesius. I
yeah.
don't know what character he was.
So many people were in Spider-Man. The great thing about Spider-Man, they had all these sort of older celebrities come in, Ephraim Zimbalist, and
Oh, I love him. Yeah, I know him as
guys
Alfred
like
Pennyworth
that.
from Batman the Animated Series. I'm into that at the moment, the whole DC cartoons and stuff. And then
Yeah,
also you got
people
like
like that. Just great characters with great stories. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a very unique time. The Spider-Man series. This is my cat Lila.
hello,
Say hi.
Layla. Oh, so cool when a furry friend shows up. I have a dog downstairs. He's a little shih tzu called
Ah.
Benji. He's adorable. I have to get a
Mhm.
photo of him later.
Mhm.
Oh, bless him. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
lovely to meet your cat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hot Rod Dogs and Cool Car Cats. I remember that was extremely fun to do.
Yeah,
It
speaking of cool
really
car
was.
cats, Layla.
Yeah, it was just sort of high energy and wacky and just a lot of fun.
That's good to hear. Yeah, because it's personally one of my favorites as well. Because looking back at it, it aired on CITV. It was a mixture between Dave Edwards Studio, which was Serial Productions, Mike Young
Mm.
Productions, Rainbow Animation Group, and Scottish Television Enterprises. Now, it's always fascinated me, the whole like Mike Young Productions and the whole like serial productions. So I'm trying to
Mm.
get my words in. The Dave Edwards Studio, like that sort of stuff, like Welsh meets American, essentially, because you've got
Yeah,
Mike
yeah,
Young
yeah,
as
yeah.
like the bridge between them. I've I'm trying to do a mini YouTube video explaining the whole story about that. I have
Hmm.
approached Frank. Um, so there's a start. I haven't heard back from him yet, but I'm going to speak to him. But so I might as well speak to you about some of Mike's other shows as well. Did you ever work on his other shows, or was it just that one? Can't remember.
No, I did. Remind me of the names of some of them.
I'll have a look real quick. I don't think I'm. I know he did the Further Adventures of Super Ted for Hanna-Barbera. He did Fantastic Max.
Hmm.
Who
I
else?
think I might have come in and done a few
He
voices
did
on
The Little
those.
Engine That Could. What else he did? He did Once Upon a Forest, which was a film. Potsworth and Co.,
Mm.
which is Midnight Patrol Adventures in the Dream Zone in America. Um,
Yeah.
he did a TV show called Little Dracula, which had
Yeah, he
Jonathan
may have
Winters
done some of that
and
when
Dakota and Brendan
after I
Fraser.
moved to Iceland too, because I know he was
Yeah, because he
at the
does
time
works
I
at
left.
Splash Entertainment now.
He was very active, and he's of course still is.
Yeah. By any chance, do you know a voice director by the name of Kelly Ward?
Boy, that name is so familiar.
He's Putsy
Uh,
in Grease, and he's done a lot of voice directing. He was in Challenge of the GoBots.
Kelly Ward. I know a Jim Ward. Kelly Ward.
I know Jim Ward as well. But yeah, I was gonna say because I met Kelly in Liverpool, and he said to me he's just finished recording the Woody Woodpecker show with Eric Bowers' Woody Woodpecker with Mike and Tara
Mm.
Strong as Winnie Woodpecker, and I know Dee Bradley Baker's Chili Willy, and they've also got Tom Kenny in it and Kevin Michael Richardson. I
Mm.
know these replaced Brad Norman as the voice of Chili Willy for unknown reasons. Actually, I'm gonna ask Mike that. I need to stop going off topic. I'm so sorry.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, Nick. So yeah, I was just out of genuine curiosity because I was like, yeah, Kelly and Mike have worked a lot together. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, there is that. I will tell Mike that you said hi, definitely.
Oh, please do. Yeah, I meant to give him a shout when I was in. I just got back from LA a few days ago, but
Oh,
my
did
schedule
ya?
was just so jammed that I couldn't get everybody
Wow.
in.
Wow.
I
Wow.
think the previous time I've been, or a couple times ago, I went by the studio and we hung out a bit. It was great to see him.
That's cool. Man, I really need to get to LA, but it's so
Yeah, you gotta
expensive.
get your driver's license first for sure.
It's like
Or
a
you will be.
hundred and 1,500 for plane tickets. there and back. Just for me,
Yeah,
like,
you might be able to do better if you shop around a bit.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Ooh,
I've done better than that,
ooh,
even from here.
yeah, but that's in UK pounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, 1,005. Oh, you can definitely do better than that.
oh, you have to give me some
I
tips.
think
I have to
so.
give you some
Yeah,
flight tips
shop
here.
around.
Hit me up, Nick. um,
Yeah.
so back onto Spider-Man the Animated Series, you voiced Michael Morbius, the living vampire. So what was it
Mm.
like doing his voice then?
That was great. I was still pretty new to the business, and it wasn't a typical. They weren't typical sessions. The director, Tony Pastor, was a theater director, really, and not a voice director. And they're two very different crafts. And he did the sessions as if he were directing a play. He would talk to the characters, the actors, about their motivation and their emotions and things like that. And uh, as I said, he had a lot of film actors in, but sometimes some of the voice actors got kind of thrown by that because the directing and voice acting sessions is a lot more rapid. It's these guys do this every day, and there's a kind of shorthand used, and things just tend to fly along very quickly. And I remember Jimmy Cummings. It's sort of like, what is this guy going on about? And but I found it very interesting, being both an on-camera actor and a voice guy, and it was just great. I sat next to Roscoe Lee Brown for a long time, and we'd have great conversations
I
about
love his voice.
Shakespeare. And
His voice is
yeah,
so
yeah,
great.
a wonderful voice too.
Who else was on
Yeah,
there
you just
actually?
met a lot of great people in there, and yeah, it was a wonderful. And I loved working with Jennifer Hale. She played my girlfriend there,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, people are always saying, "Oh, that was such a cool thing you guys did," and I really liked it. I learned a lot from doing that. It was good chemistry.
Oh, that's good to hear. There's a lot of people on the show: Christopher Daniel Barnes, Ed Asner, Linda Gary, Julie Bennett, who
Hmm.
we sadly lost. I think the internet says that she died from coronavirus. I don't know if that's true or
Oh,
not,
really?
but she
I
was
didn't
like the
know that.
last surviving member of the Rocky and Bullwinkle cast, and I nearly got off my
Oh,
documentary. Also, Jennifer Hale, yeah,
yeah.
Neil Ross, Ephraim Zimbalist, Jim Cummings,
Oh,
Hank
yeah.
Azaria, Mark Hamill was in it. I didn't know that.
I don't remember him being in it. Really,
Who
he's a
was
good
he?
friend.
He was
He's
Hobgoblin.
hmm. Okay. He might have been there at a session that I wasn't at, or maybe
Yeah.
I've just forgotten.
No, you were friends with him.
Oh yeah, no, no, he's a lovely fellow. He helped me a lot actually in LA. Yeah, he
Oh,
would tell people about me, he'd recommend me. I would say more in the on-camera department, but also in the voice-over area. He's just a wonderful guy. He's so helpful. Um, I can't say enough good things about him, and he's one of the, I would say, few celebrities who do voiceover that is a real voice actor. I mean, he's as good as anybody. He's not just a celebrity who gets asked to do voices because he's a celebrity, and he doesn't just play himself. He's a great character voice actor.
I agree, definitely. It all started with Batman the Animated Series, where Andrea Romano casted him as the Joker. And then his
Right.
life has never been the same since. He used to be known as Luke Skywalker, but now I just know him as a voice actor. So,
Yeah.
yeah, wow, he's the best animated Joker, in my opinion. Yeah, so you keep in touch with him like nowadays, right?
I haven't talked to him for quite a while.
Ooh.
There was a video game conference here, like a Comic Con kind of thing. And I went there, had a great time. And I mentioned Mark in one of the panels, and the producer asked me, "Hey, do you think you could put in the word, try to get Mark to come over here?" So I sent a message to him through my agent. I'd lost his phone number, and he said he doesn't do conventions anymore, but send his warm regards and all of that. But I don't know. Maybe another time we'll get him over. Maybe he'll want to come and see
He
Iceland.
doesn't do conventions anymore.
That's what he said at the time. Maybe he's changed that.
I was gonna say because someone I know met him at Star Wars Celebration in London about 6 years ago, and I'm gutted because like I know back then I wasn't into Mark Hamill, but to meet him now would be an absolute dream. And man, I'm jealous of my friend so much. Like I'm
He
like,
might do things
ah.
related to Star Wars. He might get paid obscene amounts of money and do those. I think he was referring more to the voice voice acting kind of things.
Oh, right. I see. I see. Okay. Yeah. Well, it probably will be Star Wars Celebrate. I think that's still going ahead unless they get into like London Film and TV Comic Con. I don't know. Um, but yeah, that is really cool to know because I did try to reach out to him through his agent, but they said he doesn't do podcasts because if that's one person, if they say what yes to one person, then they'll expect everyone will expect him to say yes to everyone. So it's just fair enough to turn everyone down, which I understand greatly. But yeah, I know you haven't spoken to him for a while, but in spirit, you're welcome to give my warmest regards.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Back to Spider-Man. Um, as I mentioned before, was it? I can't remember if we were recording or not. The new Morbius film that Jared Leto, Suicide Squad Joker, is in. Um, have you seen that before?
No, I have to admit,
Mobius.
I don't watch
Morbius. Sorry.
animated movies much. I prefer, it's funny, I spend a lot of time doing comedy. I spend a lot of time doing
I think
animated
Morbius is live
motion.
action.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But those types of sort of action movies, superhero movies, things like that, I generally don't watch them. They're really not my thing. Not that I have anything against them. I'm more attracted to sort of real life drama kind of stuff, more realistic stuff. But I should see it because it's Morbius and be interesting to see how it's done.
It's Morbin time. That has gone all over Twitter. I'm not sure. Okay, so Power Rangers, they say it's Morphin time. You've got
Mhm.
Morbius. Someone said on Twitter, it's Morbin time. So
Yeah.
everyone's now saying it on Twitter. So yeah, I think at this moment in time, you are a good interview recipient, Nick. You are like everyone's just gonna say. I'm not sure. Have you ever had anyone contact you about Morbius in the animated Spider-Man series since this whole "it's Morbin time" meme came about?
No, many of the podcasts or interviews I do, people do ask me about Morbius and the series in general. But I think the only one I've done specifically about that series was the one I did with John Semper right before I moved to Iceland. I did that. I did that interview, sold John my car, and got the hell out of there.
Wow. Yeah, man, I really need to get to Iceland. It's one of my bucket places that I really want to go. I think there's there, Switzerland, and America. Those are like my top three places I
Hmm.
really want to go to because I've heard
Hmm.
Switzerland is like really beautiful. Like, is okay? This is going to sound really stupid coming from me. Oh, the Alps in Switzerland. Oh, they are. Oh, they stretch across France, Switzerland, Monaco, Italy,
Yeah.
Liechtenstein, Austria, Germany, stuff. So it technically is in Switzerland, but yeah, it's just nice and snowy there and cold and stuff. You get me.
Yeah, it is. It is lovely there.
Yeah, definitely. Nick, so do you still do voiceover work today?
A bit, yeah, not as much as I used to. Um, I confess I don't really enjoy the whole do everything at home thing that's happened now. Even before COVID, so much voiceover was just gravitating to you have to record it yourself. For me, one of the reasons I liked getting into voiceover was the social interaction. And that was really my social life, going down to the ICM voiceover, ICM agency, and sitting around in the room with all my friends and chatting, and then going in and doing auditions together and things like that, and seeing each other on jobs. And when it got so isolated, it just stopped being fun for me. That said, I do some. Psychonauts 2, which I did remotely from Iceland, uh, has come out, and I think I'm doing a virtual autograph signing for that soon.
Hmm.
I'm doing some stuff on the Paul McCartney's animated movie called High in the Clouds. I
Mm-hmm.
did some of that from here and some in Los Angeles. Um, but I don't pursue it as much as I used to. I'm mostly focused on stand-up comedy and writing and music. But I do some, and I do some Icelandic voiceover too. I mean, not in
Oh.
Icelandic, but there's a company here called what the heck are they called? CPP, and they do a game called Eve Online, which apparently is quite big. And I've worked for them, and I've done a few other things, some film narrations and things like that.
Oh, that's cool. Do you mention about your life as a voice actor in your stand-up comedy?
Not really. I do voices sometimes. I mean, I play characters. You know, I don't. My stand up is not really typical straight stand up. I do a lot of sort of character acting. I use a lot of music. I use musical improvisation, um, and definitely my acting and voice work is very much impacts my stand up stuff. I didn't grow up a stand up comedy fan per se. I mean, I loved Richard Pryor and George Carlin, but other than that, I didn't know about anything until recently. And so, yeah, all of that, very much, and dialects. You know that I use a lot of that too. So it impacts my stand-up comedy, but I haven't really ever talked about it per se. I haven't done bits about what it's like to be a voiceover artist. Maybe I should.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'd definitely come see one of your shows. Yeah. I mean, I'm 18 now, so I can, right?
Yeah, right on. You absolutely
Okay,
can.
good. Yeah. What was I gonna? I had another question, but it's just buried itself back into my mind. Oh, yes, I've just remembered it now. How often do you travel to LA?
I would say 3, 4 times a year.
Wow, I'm
Hmm.
jealous. Can I go in your suitcase?
Sure.
It's been my
Why
dream.
not?
Oh, it reminds me of that one picture. It's like this dad and his 3-year-old daughter hid in his suitcase and he knew about it, so he walked out the door and said bye, and he circled around the block in his car and he said his luggage has not stopped laughing. I was like, oh boy, yeah. Yeah, really funny. Good stuff. Um, Nick, I was wondering, can you still do Morbius's voice?
Well, if I listen to it, I'm sure I could, but I remember sort of generally the vibration of Morbius, especially when he says Felicia. But I'd have to hear it probably to really
I
nail
think
it.
here we go. There's a the voice clip on behind the voice actors. Let's play it now. Here it is.
Personal science log. The bite from the bat somehow made me feel stronger. I feel energy surging through me. I can hear every heartbeat around me. And I can defy gravity. Incredible. No! My face, skin translucent, structure distorted. Hey, I've got to reverse this.
My God, it's so much higher than I remember. Oh, incredible. Of course, I was younger then, but oh boy, that was a high energy little bit you played for me there. It sounded like he was in a lot of trouble.
Oh wow, Nick. Wow, that's made me smile. And like I know I smile a lot, but I tend to smile to my dimple set, so you made my dimple set. Thank you. Um, I'd like to ask you, going back to Star Wars, you were Palpatine. Do you still play Palpatine in a few video games, or was it only really for Battlefront and Bounty Hunter? I just got to say, my
No,
older brother used to play
I've done
those.
a ton of them. I've done a ton of them. I haven't done any Star Wars stuff for a long time. But yeah, I did a lot of the Clone Wars, and I did a ton of games. I did a audiobook. I haven't done it for a while though.
Oh, that's fair. I think it was the 2003 series that
Hmm,
you did. Wow, voiced most times by Nick Jameson. Wow,
really?
14 titles apparently. So,
Oh,
which ones have you
yeah.
done it in? Let's have a look. Most
I
reprised roles.
know Ian. Who's the original actor? Who? John McDermott? No, Ian McDermott. Am I saying it right?
Yeah,
Who's
yeah,
the
yeah.
original Star Wars actor?
Ian
I know he
McDermott.
did it.
Dermot.
Huh?
Ian McDermott.
Yeah, yeah. I know he did some. I know Tim Curry did some.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not sure who else.
Let's have a look. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Ian Abercrombie did him in the 2008 like
All
CGI
right, right.
Clone
Oh,
Wars
he's done it
series.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So wow, you followed him in Star Wars, Empire at War, the video game, Battlefront 2, Revenge of the Sith, the video game, Battlefront, Clone Wars TV show, the
Mhm.
2003 2D one, Rogue Squadron 3, Rebel Strike, Bounty Hunter, Galactic Battlegrounds, The Phantom Menace, X-Wing Alliance, Rebellion, Star Wars Trilogy Arcade, and Star Wars TIE Fighter.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
okay.
impressive. That's really
Thank you for
impressive.
reminding me.
You're welcome. Yeah. But wow, Nick, you've had such a prolific career. I've got to ask you one final question, which is completely unrelated to the subject.
Okay.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color. I'd say off the top of my head, blue, probably.
Oh, everyone usually goes for blue. Yeah, mine's personally yellow. Yeah, I've had a lot of people say blue. To be fair, I mean, my ears are blue, so there's
Mhm.
that. Nick, you've been fantastic to talk to. Thank you so much. Where can we find you on social media?
Well, I'm on Facebook, fairly active on that. I'm on Instagram, but I don't use it that much. I don't use it as much as I should. I really need to start being more proactive on social media, promoting my shows and things like that. The whole thing is a bit daunting to me. You know, I come from an era where you have managers and agents and publicists doing all the work for you, and you can just get on with your creative work. And nowadays, you know, you can't really do that. You have to do a lot of it yourself, and I'm kind of resistant to doing that. I have a thing about the word content. I don't like the idea of putting out content. I like putting out art. I want to work on something till it's good and then give it to people. I don't want to just every little thing that comes to my mind feel I have to put it on social media. But that's kind of the way it is right now, so I need to adjust to that. But you can find me on Facebook for sure, and I am going to get more active on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter, but probably will be.
That's fair. Thank you, Nick. I'm gonna do a fake outro now. Well, I don't know what happened with my voice there. I do apologize. I'm gonna do a fake outro now, and then I'll probably say goodbye to you if that's okay.
All right.
Wonderful, don't go anywhere. To you at home, thank you so much for watching this episode of In Conversation with ATF. Stay safe, stay happy, be kind to yourself. That's all I ask. And we'll see you around. So from me and Nick, bye.
Bye bye.
And cut.